Hi everyone, so welcome back. We're tackling part 3 of this example, and part 3 says if a ticket price was set at 125, how many students would have to go on the tour in order to break even, and what is the total amount that would need to be collected from students in order to cover the cost of the tour, i.e. the bus hire cost as well as the wine tasting cost. Now essentially what this question is asking us to do is calculate the break even in units as well as the break-even in rand value. That's essentially what they're asking us to calculate. And the reason I say that, the number of students is units, so number of students needed to cover the cost of the tour. So remember, you break even when you just covering costs, i.e. variable and fixed costs. And how much needs to be collected? Well, we collect 125 per student times the amount of students we need, which is really the break-even in rand value. Alright, so to tackle this again, you need effectively that formula. And in this formula, we know the only unknown is our quantity. So essentially, we just apply this formula to we apply the inputs and we solve for the unknown. So we know that at break even, profit equals 0. This formula is essentially now going to equal 0. So our quantity is unknown. You can call it Q, X, Y, Z. It doesn't matter as long as it's unknown. The 80 is our variable cost. It's not 35 anymore. It's unknown. Minus our fixed cost of 2000 equals 0. And now you can see it's just a case of solving for X, or in this case solving for Q. That's a Q. That's a Q. 125 minus 80 gives you 45. That's a minus 2000. So you're left with 45 times Q minus 2000 equals 0. Then 45 times Q equal to 2000, and Q is equal to 2000 divided by 45, and that's going to give you roughly 44.4 students. Now this is very important. The unit of measure here is students, and you can't send 0.4 students on a tour, so therefore you have to round, and we always round up, because if you round down, effectively you're going to make a loss. So therefore, thus 45 students. So we'd rather be conservative and ensure we make even a slight profit than making a loss. So in this case, the answer would be 45 students. Alright, so while we're on there, let's do number 4. It's essentially the same. The only difference in number 4 is, number 4 they want us to, if we have 35, what would the ticket price be in order to cover the cost of the tour, i.e. the break-even selling price. So essentially the same, only difference is selling price will now be unknown, variable cost will still be known, fixed cost will be known, and now our quantity will be 35. So again, we just apply this equation to number 4. So effectively we just do this 125, but we don't know that now, so you can call it, I'll just call it the selling price. The quantity is 35, the variable cost is 80, the quantity is 35, and the fixed cost is still 2000, and remember it's still break even, so it's equals 0. So effectively you have selling price times 35 minus this bracket comes to 2800 minus 2000 equals 0. Now remember, this is still, math tells you BOD math, so brackets you have to treat separately. So this bracket stays selling price times 35, and that minus 2800, and that minus 2000 becomes 4800, and if you take it over to the other side, effectively you are left with selling price equals times 35 is equal to 4800, and now we can divide by 35 on both sides. So then you have the selling price equal to 4,800 divided by 35, and that will give you an answer of 137.14 rand. And in this case we can round because it's a rand value and you can have 14 cents of a rand. Right, so that was number 3 and 4, and again, as you can see, I keep on applying this equation. I just write down what is known and what is unknown, and I solve for the unknown. It's as simple as that. Right, check back in the next video where we'll cover from number 5 onwards. Thanks, cheers.